What is the most frequently stolen item in modern retail? You might guess designer clothes, expensive jewelry, or high-end electronics, but you would actually be wrong. It's Lego.
3 men were arrested in California for stealing $1 million worth of Lego.
The thieves had hijacked 2 massive freight trailers while they were in transit from Texas to California. While stolen electronics generally return about 25% of their retail value, stolen Lego can return up to 100% of its value online. Criminals are getting remarkably rich off of this simple, untraceable Danish plastic. Which begs the question, how did a simple children's toy turn into the ultimate status symbol, becoming so incredibly desired that it actually rivals gold in resale value? Our historical narrative begins in Billund, a Danish town so incredibly small it barely appeared on maps in the 1930s. Ole Kirk Christiansen bought a small woodworking shop during the Great Depression, pivoting to crafting wooden toys just to survive the economic collapse. In 1932, he officially named his new toy company by combining the Danish words for play well, calling it Lego. Wood shavings in the workshop ignited in 1924, burning the factory completely to the ground. Ole rebuilt the facility, but a second catastrophic fire struck the workshop in 1942. Even after the second devastating fire, the stubborn carpenter rebuilt the factory to continue making wooden docks and cars. However, after a third massive fire destroyed the wood production line in 1960, the company finally gave up on wooden toys entirely. This relentless series of tragedies forced them to focus solely on their new experimental plastic bricks. This forced pivot to plastic resulted in the ultimate secret to Lego's enduring market value, which is unparalleled manufacturing precision. In 1958, Ole's son Gottfried patented the modern brick design, introducing the internal tubes that gave them their iconic locking grip.
Build hotels, animals, people, boats, skyscrapers, and more. So kids, get your Lego set now at department and toy stores everywhere.
Astonishingly, a plastic brick manufactured in 1958 is still perfectly compatible with a brick made today. This generational compatibility means a Lego set never truly degrades or becomes technologically obsolete. Unlike video games or consumer electronics, these plastic pieces retain their exact functional value decade after decade. It's this literal indestructibility that eventually laid the structural foundation for today's massive high-stakes collector's market. The largest Lego factory in the world is currently not located in Denmark or China, but rather in Monterrey, Mexico. Following a massive $500 million expansion, this enormous facility supplies the entire North and Latin American consumer market. It serves as the primary origin point for the expensive sets that eventually end up targeted by those North American retail thieves. Meanwhile, the second largest manufacturing facility in the world is located in the Eastern European city of Nyíregyháza in Hungary. Following a massive financial investment, this Hungarian plant more than doubled in size to an astounding 262,000 square meters. These vast industrial complexes function less like traditional toy shops and more like highly secured global mints. Every year, these global hubs produce over 400 million tiny rubber tires, making the toy company the largest tire manufacturer on Earth. Since 1949, they have produced over 1.1 trillion individual pieces. If you just took 400 billion of those bricks and stacked them, the tower would reach the moon and back several times. The company has also manufactured so many of their iconic minifigures that the plastic population now outnumbers the human population. The true turning point in the secondary market occurred when the company realized adults had far more disposable income than children. A perfect example is the highly successful architecture series introduced in 2008, which vividly recreates iconic geographical landmarks in miniature plastic form. Drop a comment below with the most valuable set you currently own. I'm a fan of LEGO Technic and LEGO flowers. Today, LEGO has officially crossed the cultural boundary from a mere retail product into the esteemed realm of fine art. By transforming the bricks into sophisticated display pieces, they artificially elevated the product's inherent worth. Former corporate lawyer Nathan Sawaya created a highly acclaimed touring exhibition called The Art of the Brick, featuring massive plastic sculptures that have traveled to over 100 cities worldwide. This artistic elevation extends directly to the streets with a brilliant geographical project called Dispatch Work. Artist Jan Foreman continuously travels to major cities from Berlin to Scotland, hunting down centuries-old crumbling walls and damaged monuments. He beautifully patches the urban decay by tightly packing the ancient cracks with bright multicolored Lego bricks. This seamless transition into high art and indestructible nostalgia is exactly why the black market is currently booming. But why are fully grown adults willing to spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on a children's toy? The answer is a potent mix of psychological escapism and hard financial data. For a community known as AFOLs,
adult fan of Lego, which I don't know, I mean, it's a term that we use somewhat endearingly, but you know, it's also a little cheeky.
building these intricate sets offers a screen-free, deliberate way to decompress from the stress of modern life, replacing doom-scrolling with hours of nostalgic focus. But beyond the mental benefits, they are treating these boxes as legitimate financial portfolios.
I know the retail value of the sets I've purchased is over $50,000. Secondary market value, I would suspect it's a lot more than that.
According to economic studies, the secondary market for retired Lego sets has historically generated average annual returns of around 11 to 15%, meaning pristine plastic bricks have actually outperformed bonds, savings accounts, and even gold. To a dedicated collector, dropping $700 on a massive Titanic set isn't a frivolous purchase, it's a highly calculated investment. Rare, out-of-production sets immediately become appreciating assets. Some of these coveted pieces are literally worth more than their weight in actual gold.
So this is from 2003. This is the Cloud City set. There was about 3,500 of these made back in the day because people looked at it and said, $100 for a Lego toy? No way. But now it's, pushing 10 grand because of the condition of the box and the collectability of this.
This brings us right back to the $1 million heist in California. Those men were not stealing children's toys. They were stealing an untraceable, indestructible global currency that appreciates faster than many traditional investments. And I appreciate every single like that you give to my videos. Do not hesitate to subscribe to my channel. Every week I post there a new interesting video.